Welcome to another Ariaswave update. So, yes, things have changed a little due to the count down the bottom, but I've also adjusted my count slightly as well. And it's a kind of a strange adjustment to make because of the size of the waves at the bottom. Um, and we have to make sense of this. So, I still believe the first move down since May highs is an A, then a B, and then the C wave here I suppose it's the one thing that could potentially give us the clues that we need to understand what in the world is going on right now. Now, considering how much Bitcoin and Ethereum has dropped, XLM hasn't really dropped as hard as those ones, but it's definitely changed the way that I see this bottoming out process happening. So with the after the B wave, look, it's possible that this is a C wave down to the lows here. Okay, so we had a what could be considered a one. Still believe this could be a three, right? So we're looking at five wave moves here, not zigzags. So one, two, three, four, five, and then two, and then three, and then a more of a drawn out wave four, and then a five wave move down for C. So to me, that's the most logical thing I can think of with the choppiness of this move. And then what happened after that can only be considered as a D wave because we broke the low. But the thing is that we didn't break it in a B wave. So to me, that can only tell me that it's more than likely just a small wave E, right? Um, Now, obviously, we need to come back up above the start of wave E to confirm this. Like I always say, like number one, you can get the waves wrong. It's not hard to do it, but there's always these areas of confirmation that we need to see, unless you're dollar cost averaging, right? Which is something that I mention a lot lately, and it's because it's the safest option for these markets when you've seen such a dramatic pullback, right? Going back to the bigger picture, right? We've got a we've got a wave one since March 2020, and then like a 90% pullback. So it's understandable if you don't get the bottom part 100% correct, but if you're dollar cost averaging around this area, then you're getting the best of both worlds. You can get a little bit up here, down here, up here, down here. I mean, I'm going to keep buying this thing until basically as much as I can until it starts popping. But the point is not that at the point. The point is at the moment that we're just trying to understand this pattern, right? So once we had that zigzag wave D, right? I did say that yeah, this could be a 3-3-5 simply because it looks like a 3-3-5 pattern. But obviously, what happened after that, you have to reconsider the possibility that this could have just been like a little one, right? And then basically a corrective pattern here for two, and then a three, mini four, and then five. So when it comes to that sort of stuff, I mean, it's the small degree stuff that can really mess with you. But in saying that, still looks like a potential 3-3-5-3-5 here, and then you get like a wave three. So a one, a two, a three, a four, a five. Okay, and then potentially a little bounce for a four, and then another, and then a five wave move down. That five wave move, is it similar in length to this move here at the highs? Could be, but to expect much more than that to the downside, I don't know. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling that that's really necessary for this market to do that, simply because of how much it's fallen, and also If you look at Bitcoin, I mean, it's started to head back down towards the 2017, the 2017 highs, right? It's almost like it's trying to find that support area, right? Now, whether or not this was an A, B, you know, this whole thing could be a C here. We're looking for a D and an E, or this could have been a C, a D, and an E, right? I mean, at this point in time, we're just going to have to wait. With such a sharp move like that, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if that's just a C wave, right? And a D wave could be expanding to the upside a little, unless you want to go one extra and consider this up here to be A, B, C. Oops, right in. Right, sorry, C, D, and this one an E. You know, uh, open to interpretation on the complexity of this particular move. That's what it could be. We haven't exactly touched the highs of 2017 yet as a support level. So could it keep dropping just that little bit further? It might do so, right? It might just do so. But have a look at how much this has fallen compared to what XLM has fallen, right? Since that high, we've had like a 34% drop just since that little area we were just at. So obviously there was still some more downside there. And I did say we're waiting for the bigger coins to top out, similar to what's happening in Ethereum, right? I'll quickly go over there now. I mean, if you look at that from the 2020 lows, that's just hit 0.786 right there, and that could be considered potentially a wave too, right? So open to interpretation. That could be a 33535 pattern completed as well. Um, there's only one way to find out, to be honest, with these markets. But in terms of XLM, I'd be more inclined to just look for a break of that high that I've kept telling you that we need to break that high um, at 15 cents. Now we also have a bit of a gap here, so more than likely that'll get filled up soon. The worst could be over. Now, just to bring you across to another chart which I'm paying attention to at the moment is also the Dow Jones. Right? I mentioned in one of my ideas, especially the one where it says this changes everything. Right? That video, I'll link it down below. We did see a choppy wave one, and then this type of correction unfolded, which to me could be a B, C, right? And then this move that happened since the lows, it looks like a three-wave move, right? A three-wave move and then an E wave, right? So it's just another example of how you can get a small D wave and a small E wave. When you compare those waves to the previous moves, right? It's almost like it's getting to the end of the correction, and we're just sort of finding that equilibrium before we terminate the correction. It's wave two completed, and then we start moving higher. Right at the moment, there's a lot of bearish sentiment going on in the market. So to me, it doesn't surprise me that a lot of people think the world's going to end. A lot of recession fears all over the place in the news. Um, you know, just everywhere, really. I'm not buying it, to be honest. I just think that there's just a lot of FUD going on. in my opinion, if the market was going to crash, probably a lot of people would not be expecting it, right? I really highly doubt that most people would be expecting it, and I highly doubt that the news would be pre-warning you that this is going to happen just because interest rates are going up. Let me remind you, interest rates have gone up before, and so has the market at the same time. Just look at the 40s, 50s, and 60s, right? It's happened before. Of course, once we hit that top, we can have a moment where it hits the fan. But at this point in time, I really think that we just need to take a pragmatic approach to how we're looking at this. If we see a break below like 29,686 roughly on this chart, then potentially, we're going to have to think about changing that view. Maybe there's something else going on that's not quite right and that we've missed somehow, right? But for the time being, let's keep an eye on it because, like I said, dollar cost average. Don't put all your chips in at once. These markets are crazy, right? The volatility is just berserk at the moment, right? Do you really want to do that? It's not wise. Okay, we could be seeing a bounce now, but markets can be tricky. They can look like a bounce and then they don't bounce. But it seems to me like I've counted a 5 wave move down here. A small D and E like on the Dow Jones. Sometimes you do see these weird little arch patterns at the bottom of markets. It happens. But if that's the case, if we do break that magenta line at 15 cents, then the move up should probably start to get pretty sharp and not be one of those leading patterns that I initially thought this could be. So I hope that sort of covers all bases for the time being. I really don't believe anything that the news says. I don't believe in these bankers who, they tell you one thing in the news and then they're probably buying the dip behind the scenes. Um, it wouldn't be the first time they've done that when they passed in the Federal Reserve Act back in 1913, right? They used the media to make it look like the bankers hate this new Federal Reserve Act. And everybody who read the news, they went ahead and they bought that and they thought, oh, yeah, if the bankers hate it, then this must be good. It's almost the same thing today. Do you think that they're going to stop their old tricks? They're going to keep making you think the world is over and then boom, the market rallies, goes for a huge bull run. And here you were at the bottom thinking that everything was going to hell and they basically fooled you once again. So don't get fooled. I think that when we do see that top, nobody will suspect it, or at least most people won't. So hopefully you found this update interesting and informative. Thank you for watching.